Coming up on this episode of Mind the Game.
All right, let's talk about these playoffs. I still think OKC is the team to beat.
I mean, like you said, you named Denver, you named us, you named Boston. You know, teams with championship DNA.
You need playoff scars and common experiences. Spurs don't have that, but they have Wemby.
Then you have some sleepers that can come into play. A team like Atlanta could do, who's been playing good basketball. You got Houston.
Detroit.
But Detroit.
OKC, what's a weakness?
What's their weakness?
Like if you had to say like nitpick.
If I had to nitpick. Wow.
I love the way you enunciated nitpick.
If I had to nitpick.
That's good. I'm going to use that. This episode's probably going to drop right on the eve of the play-ins.
Oh, man.
So I thought I'd just get your temperature. I mean, personally, I think in the West, Phoenix and the Clippers is fascinating.
So right now, what we have, who do we have now? 7, 8, 9, and 10?
It's close in the West. So, like, Phoenix is 6, I think. Clippers, Portland are almost tied or very close as at the time of recording.
Yep.
Golden State's obviously struggled, but they haven't had Steph.
Yeah, I think a report came out today that he's possibly can come back soon.
Looks like Steph will play.
Yeah, okay, this weekend, huh?
Looks like Steph will get his couple games in before the play-in, which makes them a wild card.
Yeah, that's dangerous.
Right?
That's dangerous.
Makes it a wild card. So you got this really interesting thing. Phoenix Clippers playing well, had good years. Phoenix getting healthy again.
Yeah.
Portland, always kind of a wild card with their energy, athleticism. See if they're healthy. And then the Warriors with Steph, you never know.
Yeah.
So I'd love your take on that. And then the crazy one, I think, is actually the East. Philly getting Paul George and Joel back. Maxey had a short absence as well, getting him back.
Yeah.
Orlando, capable.
Yeah.
Had their struggles, though, but are capable. Yeah. Miami, never count them out. And then one of the best teams in the league the second half of the season, Charlotte Hornets.
Yeah.
So you got these 4 teams in the East that are like, you can make a case for any of them.
Yeah.
I have a hard time putting any of them over Charlotte, who's actually 10th.
Right.
But right there, again, they could change. But the Charlotte's net rating. So anyways, let's start in the West.
Let's start in the West. I mean, so we got, like you said, Portland, Phoenix, Golden State.
So right now it looks like Phoenix Clippers in
Phoenix,
the
Clippers,
7-8 and Portland Golden State.
Well, I mean, the thing that jumps out, obviously the play of the Clippers from the beginning of the season and the play of Kawhi. Obviously, that everything depends on Kawhi's health. And for this season, the guy's been healthy as shit and has played some of the best basketball he's played in his career. And you got championship DNA on the court with Kawhi, and you got a championship coach.
Yep.
So that plays a lot. Especially in a one-game series, that plays a lot. And that also takes me to Golden State. Championship DNA, championship pedigree on the court and on the sideline. So basically what I'm saying, neither of those two teams are going to shy away from the moment.
Yeah.
It's a play-in is...
Yeah, they might play bad.
Yeah, they might play bad, but it's not like, they went to the game, they're going to beat themselves, or they was nervous, going into that game. The wild card out of those 4 teams, obviously, is Portland. The talent is there. The athleticism is there. It just depends on which Portland team shows up. If you get the best Portland team, you could be in a tough night for 48 minutes.
They could win 2 games.
They can win 2 games. And then you have Phoenix, who before the injuries were playing really good basketball as well, and they're starting to get healthy too. So, man, those last 2 seeds.
Kind of fun.
It's gonna be kind of fun. I'm not gonna give the nod to anybody because it's literally who's playing the best basketball in those 2 games, or 1 game, depending on if you're the 6th or the 7th seed or whatever. But we'll see. So that's very intriguing. Very intriguing.
Yeah, Phoenix probably been the best team wire to wire, but like you said, Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah.
Anything can happen with Kawhi Leonard on a team.
Yeah.
Anything can happen with Steph Curry on a team. We know Portland's so it really makes this fascinating play-in situation. So I'm happy we have the play-in.
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna be great. I am happy because being a participant of the fucking play-in for some years.
Yeah.
That I get to sit back on my couch with my wine, knowing I don't have to play until the weekend.
Are you not entertained?
And just sit there and just like enjoy. I'll have one iPad with golf on and the other one with the play-in. Yeah, I would just be so excited. Yeah, it's perfect.
You get a week to prepare and watch them duke it out. It's good games.
Yeah, watch and just like enjoy basketball. Then we jump over to the East. You know, like you said, there's not many teams in the NBA. Even, I mean, we talk about OKC, we talk about the Spurs, Atlanta, us, Charlotte. That's played great basketball over the last month and a half, 2 months.
Really? January, February, March,
April,
you know?
3 months. 3 months. And I mean, I think they came to LA and beat us. They came to LA and beat us, and we kind of saw, that's when we started to be like, oh, they're a pretty damn good team. And all of them were kind of firing.
Yeah.
You know, I think
once they got healthy, right?
Yeah,
Miller back.
Yeah, Miller back. Miles was playing. Melo back. We didn't see him with Kobe White yet.
Yep.
But Colin Sexton was there, and he played well too. But Kobe White gives them another dynamic as well.
What is it about their team, style of play? Like, what did you notice about their season when they got healthy?
It seemed like they started to enjoy playing together.
Yeah, trust. I noticed it in Melo.
Yeah.
I think when they were a team that was injured, not probably going to win many.
Yeah.
He got loose.
Yeah.
And tries stuff, and you know what I mean? He uses creativity, and efficiency was kind of out the window. With Khan and with Miller and Diabate's energy and fight.
I just think, Melo just like, when you start winning, you start like, shit.
This is fun.
Yes, it's fun. And I can trust this process. Coach, what you saying? Shit, this is working, man. Yeah. And Melo seems like a guy that wants to win and wants to play winning basketball and doesn't want to continue to lose in Charlotte. So it's like, oh shit, things are turning around. I can still kind of do my one-legged fadeaway threes and flashy, but I gotta get Khan a couple. I gotta get him some looks. B Miller gotta get him in transition. Let's try to get Miles in a 45 where he's stampeding and using the athleticism. Diabate super athletic and they're just, it seems like they're just playing as a team and
great fit.
And it's a great fit. It is a great fit. They got some pieces that really fit together. They just have to let's see if we can make the transition to the postseason.
Right.
And now we go back to teams like Miami, who we know. You don't want to see them in a playing game.
They'll be prepared.
We said about the Clippers, we said about Golden State, they're not going to beat themselves. Miami is just a team that you can beat them, but you fear that they'll kick your ass at the same time. So you got Miami.
Again, it's a classic team that won't beat themselves.
Yeah, they won't beat themselves. And so Miami is very intriguing anytime they're in a play-in. And then you have Orlando, a team with ultra talent, but it's also they've hit the injury bug a lot this year too. Will Franz be back? Will he be back for it?
I wouldn't trust him.
I wouldn't trust it either. I mean, we less than 2 weeks away, right?
He came back to play in his hometown of Berlin.
Yeah.
And I think played in London then 2 nights, 3 nights later, and that was it.
Yeah.
We haven't seen him. So to me, that's a big piece.
He's such a big piece for them.
Heck of a player.
We have to see, if they can, play some good basketball, kind of, figure that out. But I don't know. That'd be tough.
Yeah, be good. So what do you make of this Philadelphia team if they are healthy? I mean, this is a talented team.
I mean, they got 3 of the most talented players in the NBA. I mean, you look at what Paul George can do on a basketball floor. 3-level scorer, paint, mid-range threes,
defend.
Obviously, Joel Embiid, MVP caliber type of player. Anytime he's healthy, he's on the floor. And Tyrese Maxey could very well easily be a first-team All-NBA guy on any given year the way he's been playing.
And VJ.
Yeah, I mean, and a young talent who will be, maybe first-team All-Rookie.
Yep.
First-team All-Rookie. So, and you got vets, Kelly Oubre vet. Some of those guys are playing good ball. So, I mean,
yeah, we want to see it.
It's kind of like I give them kind of like the Harvey Dent two-faced vibe. Like it's like which one are we gonna get? And when they're rolling, when Embiid is playing, he's in the mid-range, he's on the low block, he's motivated. Maxey is burning down the highway, playing on the Autobahn, shooting his step-back threes, getting to the lane. PG, silky smooth. They have the ability to put up 140 on you any given night, 145. And you get them to buy in defensively, they can make, headlines as well. So I think it's super intriguing, man. You got both sides, man. We talked about the West. You talked about the East. It's gonna come down to who is motivated to play in the play-in, and who's motivated to kind of just want to hush the critics on yeah, we're in the play-in, but we're trying to win and get into the real dance, and then try to crack one of the guys at the top too. So, I mean, I'm excited. I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, it's interesting
as a fan of the game.
It's interesting because there's, what we want this time of year is great series, right? It'd be interesting to see which of these playoff teams can give the 1 and 2 seed a series.
Right.
At least not get swept or one win. Can someone push a little harder? There's some good teams down there.
There's some good teams down there.
And injuries have played a part in some of these teams being there. If they catch it at the right time, it'd be interesting to see a Philly fully healthy roll in, or some of these other teams. So I'm excited for the plan.
That'd be an unbelievable matchup. Like you have a team like Detroit who's played well all year. Cade, is we don't know his update of right now. Will he be ready for the first round?
What kind of state is he in?
And then you get Philly, Philly gets in as the 8th seed.
Right. No pressure,
but could very easily go in and that's the postseason. That's what it is. Sometimes the postseason is about. Obviously, it's matchups, it's health, and then there's luck.
How great would Philly Detroit be first?
That would be amazing. Those two fan bases.
That'd be great.
Going against each other? Oh, man. That'd be insane.
I mean, any of them. Philly, Boston would be great. Philly, Detroit, Philly, New York.
Yeah.
Amazing series. So, not that I'm rooting for anyone, but that'd be fun to see. Right?
Yeah.
And now over to our producer, Jason, for a word from another one of our partners.
Thanks to DraftKings Sportsbook for sponsoring the show. The playoffs are officially rolling, and the heat is already turned up. If you're anything like us, you don't want to miss a single second, because now we're seeing the real adjustments. Strategies are sharpening, matchups being targeted, and the players are seizing the biggest moments. New Sportsbook customers bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins when you sign up using promo code MINE. Minimum minus 500 odds required. While we're dissecting why a play succeeded or how a scheme got broken down, you can jump into the action too. Bet player props like points, rebounds, assists, similar to the elements that we analyze right here on the show. Or bet live as the game evolves in real time. From tip-off to final buzzer, every point, assist, clutch play counts. And DraftKings Sportsbook keeps you dialed in from round one all the way to the finals. So don't wait to take your shot. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now and use code MIND to turn $5 into $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Before discovering my love for basketball, I had dreams of becoming a soccer player. Some people don't know this, but soccer runs deep in my family. My dad played professionally in South Africa, and my first word was literally goal. I own a collection of match-worn cleats from my heroes, Ronaldinho, Zidane, and Samuel Eto'o, and it's one of my most prized possessions. Safe to say that I'm beyond psyched for the FIFA World Cup this summer. Fans will be traveling from all over the world to experience the excitement in person, and they need places to stay. Why not open your doors to guests on Airbnb and earn some extra cash? With matches taking place around the U.S., your home could be the perfect place to host and create memories for passionate soccer supporters like me. Your home might be worth more than you think. Find out how much at airbnb.com/host.
All right, let's talk about these playoffs. I know this is an interesting position for you to be in, that you're in the playoffs. I'm not. I still think OKC is the team to beat. I my stance always, after playing, coaching, watching for a million years, is you need playoff scars and common experiences. Spurs don't have that, but they have Wemby. And so I kind of, if anyone's ever allowed to jump the queue on common experience and playoff scars, it's the Spurs. So having said that, Denver's underperformed recently, but they have common experiences and playoff scars. So in a playoff environment, they could leapfrog the Spurs. But I do put the Spurs right up there as a contender. They've done well against OKC. Wemby is incredible. And then we get to teams like Lakers, Boston, Detroit, Knicks, all these other teams. So where do you think at the top, who's the team to beat?
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, I would agree with you when it comes to OKC. I think they've just shown the level of excellence over the last few years, and playing at a high level and not getting complacent. Even in the regular season, it doesn't matter if they're playing a team over 500 or a team under 500. They go out and play. Doesn't mean they've won every game, but they've won the majority of them. Yeah. And they're the reigning champs with the MVP on their team. So you look at them as the team to beat, as the favorite, I think, and that's rightfully so. And then there's some really good teams that comes after that. I mean, like you said, the Spurs been playing great, not much playoff experience, franchise experience, and but when you have like an alien and a guy like that that can make things happen, and you have a late game shot maker in De'Aaron Fox, who at one point, I think it was not last year or the year before when he was in SAC, I think he led the league in clutch points. That means a lot. A guy that's not afraid to take that big shot, win, lose, or draw, that gives confidence to a team. I mean, like you said, you named Denver, you named us, you named Boston, teams with championship DNA. Obviously, we have a guy that's been to the postseason, a guy that's been to the finals, and Luka led his team to the finals before. I have a lot of postseason experience and championship experience. Really? You look at Denver with their championship experience, you look at Boston with their championship experience. Then you have some sleepers that can come into play. Possibly you never know what a team like Atlanta could do, who's been playing good basketball. You got Houston. I wouldn't call them a sleeper because they have a Kevin Durant on their team.
Detroit.
But Detroit, New York's not a sleeper, but they're still, in the weeds. So, but OKC is the favorite, and every team, all the other 15 teams that is seeded, is looking up and trying to knock them off.
OKC, what's a weakness?
What's their weakness?
Like if you had to say nitpick.
If I had to nitpick. Wow.
I love the way you enunciated nitpick.
I had to nitpick.
That's good. I'm going to use that.
I don't know, man.
So I would say this. Here's my nitpick on OKC, and this is deep nitpick.
Yeah, this is.
I would say 3-point shooting comes and goes a little bit.
Yeah.
I would say secondary playmaking at times. Yeah. So that's hence J-Dub's importance to them, because the other real playmaking, a lot. Hartenstein makes plays for them.
Yeah, he
in
does.
A short roll.
He's a good hub for them.
Good hub for them. Obviously Chad and some of the other guys can make plays too. But so to me, sometimes did they lose playmaking and did they dry up from three a little bit? That would be my. That's a deep nitpick. They're pretty good.
That's deep. In a 7-game series.
Yeah, they'd have to
because of how well they defend.
They make up for it.
I'm trying to figure out how can I nitpick OKC, but I can't because they defend. They make plays. Those guys, it's just.
Yeah, that's the thing is they defend so well they make up for it.
Yeah, they make up for it. They're gonna get in transition. They're gonna get to the free throw line.
Well, that actually is the thing. It's not that they defend; it's that they defend. They turn you over. They get out and they get
pick sixes. They get a lot of pick sixes.
Yeah. So that is a deep bag nitpick.
I'm just listen. The postseason is about to be, as the young kids will say, lit.
Litty.
It's gonna be litty. It's gonna be crazy. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, me personally, I don't know how many more postseasons I got left in my career. And we talked about this a while ago, getting ready for the postseason, that moment, It doesn't matter what you did in the regular season.
Right.
That shit is out the window
Starts
now. Like,
again.
it doesn't matter. Like,
Starts again.
It starts again. This is it. So I'm excited, man. I can't wait.
Yeah. What's your mindset here with your team? You guys must be feeling great right now.
I mean, my personal mindset is like, what y'all need? What y'all need tonight?
Yeah.
For me personally, my game 1 can be different from my game 2.
Do you guys look? Are you watching like who's our matchup right now, or not even close?
I haven't.
Not and won't be that.
It won't matter. I probably won't pay attention to the week of. Yeah.
Then just getting into it because now we got to prepare.
Yeah, now we got to prepare. I mean, the postseason will start Saturday or Sunday for us. We'll probably start, I think playing is Tuesday, Thursday of that week.
Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, I think.
Yeah, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday or something like that. So, like, I'll start mentally, like, kind of seeing where we at more around, like, Wednesday, Thursday. But that Monday, Tuesday, I'm going to check out. I'll check out for 48 hours, but I'll lock in. And then, for me personally, I'm just on some, like, what y'all need from me? Like I said, my game 1, my game 2 could be different. Like, whatever y'all need, let's rock. Oh, Houston, Minnesota time. So it's Houston. It could be Houston or Minnesota.
Yeah. Most likely.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I don't.
So you'll most likely play Houston or Minnesota, and Denver will play the other.
And then we'll have if we take care of business first round, we'll play San Antonio second round. Well, OKC in the West Conference Finals.
Yep. You seeing it come together?
Yeah, with a Lakers Boston Finals.
Lakers Boston.
That'd be crazy.
There we go.
Oh my God. Oh shit.
You haven't had that yet. You had bubble Lakers, but you had a lot of Celtics series with the Cavs.
Yeah, I had a lot of Celtics series when I was in the East. They don't quite like me there.
Yeah. Playoff season is here, and in playoff basketball, perspective is key. As a former player and coach, I'd be right there watching every drive, every shot, and every block. And I can say from experience, there's no better feeling than living in the moment as it happens. That's where the American Express Platinum Card excels, granting you exclusive access to unique experiences worldwide. For playoff games, when every second is electric, your perspective is what makes it memorable. That same principle is true for all kinds of entertainment, even beyond the arena. The fewer barriers you have in your life, the more you're right there in the moment to enjoy it. I'd call that a win. With an array of premium travel, dining, and entertainment benefits, all backed by American Express's award-winning service, there's nothing like Platinum. Terms apply. Learn more at americanexpress.com/withplatinum. I wanted to get your take on reintegration. So the biggest, I mean, you just did it really.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I got you.
More or less, but the biggest one is Jayson Tatum.
Yeah.
Like 10 months coming back from Achilles, which is crazy fast.
Right.
But it's an interesting one for me because JT's one of the best players in the game, and they're a championship team in the recent past. He comes back to a team that is rolling and getting better and finding a slightly new identity, and then your best player comes back early from an injury. Mm-hmm. Like, what have you seen? What was it like for you after?
Yeah, what was it like for me? I mean, it's an adjustment for sure. I mean, but I think you also, if you're smart enough and you know the game and you kind of have the rhythm of the pulse of your team, the best thing to do is, or the best feeling that you can get of how you can make an impact is when you're not playing. Because you kind of see, if your eyes are open and you're actually dialed into what's going on, you're like, oh wow, I could put myself in that position. If I was there, I could see myself playing like that role or being in that play, in that position right there. So I think for me, when I was out and just seeing what the ball club was doing, I was like, oh man, I see myself playing that. I could see myself doing that, which can ultimately help the team. Mm-hmm. And for me, it could be a little bit different for me. I mean, I'm 41 years old. I'm 23 years in. I've accomplished everything. I'm like, I just want to, so it could be a lot different for a younger kid or a younger guy in our league. But knowing JT personally, I know he's like, I can do what helps the team as well by still integrating himself back into the lineup. But what I've seen early on, it was just like, I think it was more just like, can I still do this? You know, coming back from Achilles, I've never done it before. But it was more just like, can I still take off? Can I still plant? Can I still change direction? If a turnover happens, can I still plant and get back on defense? As of late, I seen him play the other night. I think it was in Charlotte. They won in Charlotte. And
without Jaylen Brown.
Without Jaylen Brown. I think he had like the first 9 out of 10 points, and he just looked like himself. Backdoor cut for a dunk. You know, getting to his rhythm, ISO, step back threes where he just looked more like himself. And playmaking, I think. And it's just going to make them even more dynamic and more dangerous to the point where before the injury, they were dangerous, you know, last year and the year before that. So it's definitely great to have him back. But implement yourself back after a long period of time like that can be challenging. I think he's handled himself so far.
Yeah, he's handled it amazingly. Yeah. But the two interesting parts for me, I think, from a fan perspective, is that how much patience and time it takes to adapt to playing again after that big an absence, or not even that big. Like, he was out 10 months, and that was a crazy injury. But a lesser injury and a lesser time, it's still difficult to jump into a moving train, right?
Yeah.
It takes patience. I think a guy plays 3 days and plays 3 games. We forget, you know, he's been out for 3 months or 8 months, or Jason's case, 10 months. That, for a fan, they have to understand, like, it's not overnight.
No, it's not. I mean, I was out like a few games. I think I sat out 3 games. Yeah. And when I got back on the floor, I felt like I was so far removed from the game. Like, it don't take that long.
Right.
You know, it's like, I always talk about like the off season. Like, I love the off season in the part like I get to really like fine tune my game and throughout my career. But the one thing I hate the most is that less than a week you're out of shape.
Yeah.
Like, you're literally out of shape.
Deconditioned.
Yeah, you're deconditioned. You spent 7, 8 straight months of like conditioning mind, body, soul, and then boom, it's just like poof, gone.
Yep.
So for him to be out, you know, 10 months of no basketball, you know, having to recondition himself and then go back into live action, that alone is like that alone is a milestone. I think we, like you said, not only the fans but also the peers and everybody, we don't highlight and celebrate that enough. You know, for a guy to come back after an injury like that, or just to, you know, be back on the floor, that takes a lot.
It's a great point. I think Achilles are really, really special injuries.
Yeah.
He came back at such a early stage, like almost had me worried. Do you know what I mean? Like, he came back at 10 months. Like, at this level, I want to see him play another 10 years at an elite level. So that where he's at is outrageous, really, when you think about it. So I think you're right. We need to really applaud the work he put in to get back to play, to be where he's at. Fingers crossed it goes really well.
Hope it goes well.
And he just never looks back. The other part of this is like, it's tricky. You know, he said on his YouTube channel, I think, like, I when I come back, I have to be the guy. You know.
Oh, he did. Yeah. I missed that.
You know,
did he say like I have to be the guy, or I have to be the? Oh, okay.
I don't think he was saying like I have to be the guy over JB.
Right.
But he's saying like I have to be the guy, like me.
Like I have to be the guy.
I can't just be in the corner.
Yeah.
Which is on one hand is absolutely what he should be saying.
Absolutely.
On the other hand,
I should say that on there.
On the other hand, he's also getting on a moving train. A team that's found a kind of a new identity. They're playing with a little bit more. I think in the past, if I had to knock Boston, they relied too much on their ability to make jumpers over people.
Yeah.
If they could have played a little bit more downhill, a little bit, because when they did break the first domino and get the blender, they're one of the best teams I've ever seen play the game. I think at times they settled.
Yeah.
And so they found this way this year where they've really, I think Maz has done a great job of like pushing them to be really clear, sharp. But like, I'll say this, the offense is taking a direction, But I see it in their defense where like he's coaching them like a college team. Like they're not making mistakes at the level. They've done an amazing job.
They're good, man.
If a guy's not a great defender, he's not making mistakes. He's up to fight. He's combative. He's physical. So I think that's carried over to the defense now. So they've grown in a way, but their best player is now coming back into this. That is a tricky, delicate thing.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that anyone's like me over team. I'm just saying that is an adjustment period.
Absolutely. And I think it's for us to kind of see how it unfolds not over the last 6 games of the regular season.
Right.
You know,
when it matters.
In the moment when it matters, you know, because both of those guys, JT and JB, are both great players, battle-tested champions, and they both feel like at any given night, I'm the best player in the world.
Yep.
So how do they body that to where we're the best players in the world and it spreads to the embodiment of the team and not just the individual.
Yeah.
So and I think obviously they've shown it before, you know, but they've shown it when they weren't coming back from injuries or whatever the case may be. But we are to see how it unfolds. I think they both can do it. I think they're intelligent young men
for sure,
who can make it happen. I mean, Joe's a hell of a coach. I don't think he's afraid to tell either one of them, hey, the fuck are we doing? Let's get on the same page. Because you one thing about this league, you just don't know how many opportunities you have to do something special. And this was a year when everybody was like, this was a throwaway year for Boston. Right. And the fact that they're playing at the level that they're playing at, this is a special opportunity. And if they have an opportunity to do something special, why not grasp it? That doesn't mean that the Larry O'Brien Trophy is going to get raised, but doing something special can still be accomplished. And so we will see how it unfolds.
Very well said. Yeah, I think it's these things are challenges, but he's been amazing. Way ahead of schedule. But even in his time back on the floor, you're seeing him make strides quickly.
Yeah.
It doesn't always go that way. Sometimes you come back and you take something, you know, like you could take a thigh bruise that affects the whole gait that affects, you know what I mean? Like the fact that he's just been able to play through this period and keep slowly getting better is, I can't tell you how much I respect him for the work. And,
I agree. Much respect, JT, for sure.
And look out if they put this all together. Look out.
Yeah, look out. Nobody was expecting him to be in the lookout phase for the postseason of 2026 after the injuries. After the injury,
right?
Drew Holiday
and by
gone,
the way,
Al Horford traded, Porzingis gone. Like nobody.
You almost thought it was the opposite. They were gutting the team.
Yeah.
Let's see what the future holds.
Big class coming in 2026. You know, JT's out. Maybe we play. You know, we don't play as well. We get a nice draft pick. Like that's what a lot of people were like discussing. No, Joe's like, you got me effed up. And JB was like, you got me effed up too. Like we right here, and they got a chance.
They do have a chance. So one other guy that I think is pivotal for this whole NBA landscape from a reintegration standpoint is Jalen Williams for Oklahoma City. I mean, the way you guys are playing, the way Denver is capable of, the way San Antonio has emerged. OKC is an amazing team, you know, with almost anyone injured except Shai. But I think against those top teams, it's pivotal that he's playing near his level.
Yeah, there's not many wild cards, and a lot of the postseason teams. He's one of the biggest ones. You know, when you're looking at your hand, you're like, how many wild cards do I have?
Right.
He's one of the biggest wild cards that you can look at is because of, you know, like you said, because of the injuries that he's had this year, but also for the full makeup of what they want to possibly get to. I absolutely agree. Because yes, they can still win. They're a damn good team. When he's on the floor, when he's not on the floor, you have Shai's special, but like it gives them another level of like, when he's out playing. When he's playing and playing at a high level and doing what he's capable of doing. His ability to defend, his ability to get into the paint, his shot-making ability. It's just another dynamic piece out on the floor, so I agree.
He's such a versatile player. Like you said, the defensively, the size. Like, they've got all these versatile guys on the perimeter. He's the biggest of them, right? Really, of their pure perimeter players. He can play really all 5 positions. Last year when they were hurt, he played a lot of 5. Now, clearly we don't want to see him at the 5 in the playoffs, but he has done it.
Right.
He can play the 1. He can play off the ball. He can play in pick and roll. He can play in isolation. He can play in closeouts, play in transition. He can defend multiple positions. The league, the top of the top is getting so good. Like, I think they need him to find it. He's shown it. I think he's shown it a few games, like JT has in a way. The tricky part, like, he didn't have an Achilles, but with his injury, he didn't play all summer, right? He worked out, but he didn't play basketball. Right. Then he came back and, wasn't ready to start the season, came back, got hurt again, hamstring. He really hasn't played basketball.
Yeah, and that could also play with your psyche too. Like, I worked my way back from a hand injury. I work my way back, boom, I'm ready to go. Then I go out and then I get a hamstring injury. Then I work my way back from that, then I get something else. It's like, that could also just start playing with your psyche too. It's like, I don't know if I can fully extend on the abilities that I know I'm capable of because I'm afraid to have another setback. And the last thing you will want to do in late March and in early April is to have a setback. Yeah. You don't have time to have a setback because the sprint is about to start. Right. We've all gone through the marathon now. The marathon is almost over. The sprint, the 100-meter yard dash is starting soon. So you don't know what the psyche does for certain players when they continue to have, compound injuries, whatever the case may be.
Well, I think luckily for J-Dub, he's getting enough regular season games in. Yeah. If he can stay healthy, he's got the regular season, he's got the week between, he's got the first round, which frankly, they may not need him. They're that good, right, to be at his best, to where that gives him a month or so. Yeah, where he gets himself back. So, did I insult someone? I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was great.
Reality.
I mean, they are great. They're a great fucking team.
Reality.
Right. That was good.
Thanks for watching Mind the Game. New episodes drop every other Tuesday. Remember to like, subscribe, or follow wherever you're watching.